are back and I officially got my microphone. I don't know why I waited so long. I'm really hoping the audio for this is good. I want to say it was like $12 off Amazon, so I should have bought it a long time ago, but we just got back from Tractor Supply and Lowe's. I'm going to take the feed bags over to where those need to go, get the animals all situated, and then I will show you what we bought for plants. Let's see if it works as I get over by the car. Gotta move these things. I hope you can hear me, because that would be so cool. Oh gosh, don't break the tree. When the girls go into milk and after they have the babies, I do switch over to Jamore, or maybe it's Purina. They're the same company. Purina owns Jamore. I switch over to their milk maker or milk producer or something like that. I'll put a picture up on the screen of what it's called. And then our all flock feed goes in here, and that's for the chickens and the geese. I like all flock feed over layer feed. It's got a lot of the same nutrients, but it's got a higher protein, especially in the winter when they need that. Okay. Oh, is it this side? No, I had it right the first time. Okay. This metal one doesn't hold a full 50-pound bag, so I just dumped the rest of the sweet feed in it and mix it around with the all flock feed. They don't care. The chickens will eat anything. All right, let me take you guys up to the car and I'll show you what we bought and what we're going to be planting today. All right, so a couple of videos ago, I shared that the big box stores, places like Lowe's, Home Depot, Tractor Supply, things like that, were getting their peonies, their roses, their spring planted flowers and perennials. I went out and I got some more roses. I purchased these same brand roses in the same containers from Lowe's last year. I actually purchased this exact same one. This is the Pinata climbing rose. And if you saw the video where I mentioned this, I did put up a picture. I'll put up another picture of what this one looks like, where we currently have it planted and what it looks like in bloom. Absolutely gorgeous. So I wanted to get another one to match it. I also picked up 2 cut roses. This is the Double Delight. Gorgeous color, but I went today and I got my favorite color rose, and this is a beautiful start to this rose. It's huge up here. I got a yellow cut rose, and yellow roses are my absolute favorite, so I am so excited. The cut roses, I am actually going to plant them in the front of the greenhouse. We're going to go over there today. I'm going to show you where I'm planting them, and we're actually going to get them in the soil today. I also stopped at Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply currently has things like onions, potatoes, berry bushes, fruits, things like that. So let me show you what I got from there. For starters, I got this cherry. If you guys saw my gardening video, I'll link it. I think it's up there in that corner. I showed you guys what the garden looks like right now, and we actually put in a new lattice area for our grapes. So this year we are going to do, I got 2 Concord grapes, and these say early fall harvest on them. These are just a purple grape. I'm going to use these for things like jam with my figs, maybe make some grape juice when they finally get going. And then I got 2 green varieties of grapes. So I got Niagara and seedless Lakemont. Again, 2 different green varieties. One says late summer, early fall harvest. The other one says late summer harvest. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to pull from our grapes within the next couple years and get a good steady harvest all the way from summer until fall. The last thing I purchased from Tractor Supply Actually, first, before I mention this, I just want to say the roses. So the roses from Lowe's are priced anywhere from $9.99 to $19.99. Some of the $19.99 ones come with 2 roses per container. A lot of the $19.99 ones and the $16.99 ones are climbing roses, ground cover roses. The $9.99 ones are more the cut roses that are the basic colors. So the pinks, the reds, the things like that. This Double Delight was a $9.99 one. The Pinata one was a $14.99 one. And the yellow one was $16.99. Like I said, the yellow one looks and is significantly bigger and has more branches coming off of it than the other two. The grapes and the fruits at Tractor Supply were all around $8.99 and $9.99. Even the cherry was $8.99. I noticed that their potatoes, their onions, they had asparagus, they had strawberries, blueberry bushes, things like that. I'm sure we will be back there to buy more. This is just what I got today when I stopped by to pick up feed. All right around the same price, $10. They're fruit trees, however. I did get one fruit tree. This is a peach tree and it is self-pollinating, which just means that some fruit trees, when you buy them, you need more than one to help pollinate them so that way you get your fruit. If it's self-pollinating, you don't necessarily need more. However, it is good to have more. It is not supposed to drop below 20 degrees again here in North Carolina. We just got through our cold front. So all of these things will be good to start building their root system where we want them planted long term. That way in the spring, they have time to grow foliage and build up that way. I'm going to start with these 2 cut roses and I'm going to show you where we're going to plant them. These are going to go in front of the greenhouse. So in front of the greenhouse, we have a couple of herbs that come back every year that we've moved over there. And I would like everything in the front of the greenhouse to be perennials, things that are going to come back every year that don't need a lot of maintenance. So let me turn this around and show you guys. Okay, so where the lattice is, right here, I am going to remove these and remove this one, and we are going to plant these roses right in the front of the greenhouse like this. So right here, I don't know if you can see it, it's died back, but it will come back. This is our oregano, and then right here I've got my sage. Again, it dies back, it'll come back. I'm going to trim them up. Okay, so both lattices are out. Now I'm just going to dig the holes for the roses. When I find my shovel. This is a regular problem around here. And they just disappear all on their own. So I'm going to move this pine needle mulch out of the way. I am going to heavily mulch with some of our wood chips that we got. Okay. Oh, no. Is our soil not workable yet? Okay, I think it might just be the top layer where we had snow. So it's about, I want to say like 53 degrees right now. And in front of the greenhouse does get sun, but it doesn't get full sun, direct sun most of the day. And even though it's 50 degrees, this soil is not really workable right now. Plan B. These roses are going to go in the greenhouse and we're going to have to plant these out another day. Probably another couple weeks or so. Let's go get them in the greenhouse. Whew. I would say it's around 80 degrees in here. I do have a new thermostat coming, and now that our cold front has gone, I'm going to take our jugs from our winter sowing and get these outside. These have got condensation all down the side of them, so they look like they're pretty moist, but I'll probably give them a quick drink. and then leave them probably right out here next to the garlic. If you haven't seen our winter sowing for our jugs, I will link that video up in the corner, one of these corners, for you guys to go check out. I've got some strawberries, I've got some herbs, things like that in here. We don't usually get cold temps like what we had the past couple weeks. However, I am glad that we did. I'm really hoping it'll kill off some of the pests that we've been having a problem with in the garden. Things like the vine borers and the squash bugs. And I know people up north, like my family in Maine, they still have to deal with those even when they do get cold weather. But it's just hopeful thinking, wishful thinking. So if you didn't see the video that I posted about what our garden looks like currently before we start planting in it, this is our new grape lattice. And we've got a couple posts and a couple T-posts in between to hold the lattice up. The plan was to do 3 on each side, but I think we're going to start with 2 on each side and see how they grow over the first year or two. And after that, decide if we want to add more, because as much as we love grapes, we don't want to have something that's unattainable. We want to be able to keep up with it and keep it clean and looking nice. And I'm assuming we're going to have to get some netting because the birds are probably going to want to snack on this. So as of right now, I'm thinking we'll do purple on one side and green on the other. There's no side that gets more or less sun. This is pretty much direct sun for most of the day on our property. So I think either side will do fine for either grape. I'm going to do the purple on that side towards our strawberry patch and the green on this back side. I'm going to stagger how these are planted on either side as well. I feel like that will make trimming and upkeep with them a little easier. I think the easiest way to plant these is going to be with the post hole digger. It's almost the perfect size of the bag and the root system that they come in. So I'm just going to clear away the mulch where I want to plant them. Oh yeah, this is a lot better than the dirt that was in front of the greenhouse. Okay, let me bring you over here so you can see better, but I think that'll be good for that one, and I'll get it planted in. So this is the one we're going to be planting on this side. Again, these are both Concord grapes. It says good for zones 5 to 9. Obviously, it will depend. This plant can grow outside of recommended zone areas as long as it has protection in the warmth or in the cold, things like that. One plant, 1 year old, spacing 8 to 10 feet. Plant height varies. Early fall harvest, they need full sun, and berry color blue to black. So it also says on the back about what time you should be planting, and our area says February to May. We are down by the January to May area. So like I said, it's not supposed to get any colder. It says due to this plant's dormant state, it can be planted as soon as the ground is workable. No need to wait until after the last frost. So it's already dormant, and because it hasn't been sitting inside too long, hasn't warmed up, hasn't gotten any new growth, should be good to go right in the ground. They come just like this, bundled up with a bunch of very barky, very mulchy soil, just so it can breathe well. And I am going to, you can see the roots right there. Just gonna get it down in. And before I fill it all the way, I'm actually gonna go grab some fertilizer and put some fertilizer in there. Okay, so this is the fertilizer we're using this year. If you saw my winter jug sowing videos, I did add some of this to my jugs just because the soil that I used in the jugs didn't really have any nutrients. I'm just gonna sprinkle, now that I've covered the roots, I'm just gonna sprinkle a handful of this around in the dirt that I am backfilling it with. I'm not gonna push it in too deep, and then I'm just gonna put this nice heavy mulch back around it. And then as soon as it's warm, just like your roses, your tulips, your strawberries, things like that that come back, as soon as the weather permits it and as soon as it's time for them to grow and come back, they do. Same with grapes. So these ones are going to come back and start growing as soon as they're ready. Let's pick up our mess and go plant our other grape. So same as the last one, they come in these little baggies. Okay, so this one, you can see all the soil fell off of it. The other one was a little more moist, a little more compact, but you can see the roots. You can see where it was cut. As long as it has a good like 6 inches of roots, it should be good to go. All right, now I'm gonna get the green grapes planted. Like I said, I'm gonna stagger them from where the other ones were. This first one I'm gonna do is the seedless Lakemont. And like I said, I got 2 different varieties of green grapes. I'm gonna backfill it just a little bit and then put a little handful of the fertilizer in with it and finish backfilling. Put the mulch up and around it, and that's another one down. We've got our last green grape to go. All right, and this last grape is the Niagara grape, and this is late summer to early fall harvest. Backfill it a little bit. Handful of fertilizer, and then backfilling it the rest of the way and putting the mulch up and around it. I'm excited to see how these grow the first year. And like I said, I will take you guys along as they continue to grow. And you can see their progress with me. I'm going to go throw these away in the greenhouse and take care of the fertilizer. All right, so we just got back from Tractor Supply again. My husband did some research, and the cherries that we purchased, they're not like a cherry tree, it's like a cherry bush. They're more tart. They're better for things like jam and juice, but you need 2 of them to actually get the fruits. So we went and we picked up another cherry, and I may have gotten another apple tree. So let's get those out of the back of the car. I'm just gonna take these out to the greenhouse. The roses, the apples, and the cherries are going to stay out here in the greenhouse for the next week or so, maybe even a couple weeks. These cherry bushes are going to go on either side of our pasture fence, and the apple trees are going to go in the backyard in our orchard. All right, so these are the trees that we got. Again, Honeycrisp, Red Haven Peach. These 2 cut roses are going to go in the front of the greenhouse. This climbing rose, I haven't figured out a spot for that. And then these 2 cherries are going to go on either side of our pasture fence. Again, I'm just excited that we're out in the greenhouse again. It's so nice out here. Like I said, it was at least 80 degrees in here today. I have a new thermometer coming for in here that is Bluetooth, so it's going to hook up to my phone just to let me know what our current night temperatures look like, so that way we can get our seedlings out here. Things like our fig trees, those fig trimmings are going to have to be potted up, so we're going to be doing that soon. What else? I think that's it for now, but I will see you guys next video, and thank you for watching.